So when he know that she's gonna move when he cry, guess what he does?
Cry.
At 20 years old.
Cry.
Guess what she do?
She moved.
That's crazy.
Easy.
That's crazy.
Easy. She moving. And that's her normal nature. So when she get up and move, she switched to dad to provide. That shit ain't natural. So now he like, all right, I'm gonna just keep crying. Mom and dad gonna take care of me in one walk.
Shahrazad Ali is not doing nothing crazier than what Kevin Samuels is doing. If you think about it, she set the tone because in the, what was it, 90s? Her book was about how black women was not doing what the fuck they were supposed to do. They wasn't catering to their man. They wasn't doing this. They wasn't doing that. So, you know, like, she really...
She called that bit, man. That's like, motherfuckers calling these signals, bro. She seen that shit. She was like, hold up. You mean to tell me that? I mean, she's a woman, too. She was like,
a black woman saying that other black women ain't doing what they supposed to do for their man. It was crazy. And it was on, like, Maury and shit, right?
Nah, I forgot what show. That shit went... Well, it went viral a couple months ago that I saw it, but I don't think it was like Maury. But like nobody knew what she was actually talking. Like the person, I believe they didn't even really read the book the way they're supposed to, and they invited her on. They're like, "Oh, okay, this is gonna be spicy."
How do you spell her name? I see it, Shahrazad Ali, right there.
Yeah, that shit.
Yeah, this is classic interview.
Because. Like, I don't even know what the fuck she had going on.
I mean, this was in the 90s when they were just doing panels, conversations where they just kind of want to hear your thought. And so she dropped the book.
Whew. So she wanted shock value. So let me. So is it that she's like, hey, she got opposing views? Let me bring her on to talk.
Essentially.
Okay.
That's what I feel like.
So how are black women supposed to act? That's the question.
Okay, well let me hear her short synopsis.
Black women supposed to act?
Yeah.
The opposite of a man?
Wait. Let's hear what she said.
Actually said is that the black woman's disrespect and rebellion against the leadership and the authority of the black man is a direct cause of the breakdown of the black family structure. It's not an attack on us as black women. It's just saying that in the breakdown of any relationship, both parties have to take responsibility. And as black women, we have been protected and insulated from any kind of examination about what our share of the responsibility is in the breakdown of the black family.
Okay, and so I feel like she summed it up pretty fucking well. I feel like...
You think it's a system?
I think, no, all right, look at it like this. The system, a white man came, just like the snake came to Eve, and offered black women...
It was before then.
Offered black women child support and take that nigga out the house and we'll give you everything you need. We'll protect you against that nigga. What other culture, gets that?
It was before then. Did you do your homework for life when you listened to The Making of a Slave?
The Making of a Slave. So black women were indoctrinated.
So what they did was they made women. They made the black women fear that their sons was gonna die to the slave master's hand. Like beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, I remember. So,
and the women
they feminized them.
Yeah.
They feminized them, made them look weaker, made them look less valuable.
The women,
made them look
the women
docile.
And then the women were protecting the men. So they were getting more masculine.
They were taking more. I mean, think about it, bro. Like, who do you expect to send your meal back? Because you don't want to come off too aggressive.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I think, and I talk to people about this all the time. Like, I'm like, yo, you women are acting a certain way, not because this is who you are naturally, but this is because your environment forced you to be this type of woman, this independent. I need to do this for myself because no man is gonna get it. But when you find a man that do get it, you fall in line.
Nah, no, it ain't no find a man who get it to fall in line. You can't fall in line. It's against your nature.
It's against her nature now. Nah, bro. I feel like no, it's never against their nature.
Bro, let me explain to you. Let me explain to you.
Go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna get a little bit into our relationships, bro. whenever we buck at our wives or try to assert our dominance, it always backfire on us.
Why? Not because they are women, or not because, bro, our wives weren't the type of wives who had to be independent and do this and that. The only reason why they bucked when we ever did that is because the environment that they were in wasn't conducive with allowing what we were trying to do happen to them. They couldn't take the information we were saying and take it back to their homegirls or their sisters or their friends and be like, my nigga asked me to do this, what y'all think? They not doing it too. So they gonna tell them like, yo, that ain't the way. The fuck you mean? You got this nigga that's doing this to you when you can go out in the world, in your environment, and there's men that's doing this. This is what the environment provides.
And that's what I said. They can't even submit when they meet the man. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they get the man then submit, because, bro, that's like.
Yeah, I feel like they
it's
can't
like,
submit because they're in the wrong environment. Like, we just teach the wrong shit. Like, it's not. I told you, it's not cool to be a loyal girl in 2020 in America. Like, it's not cool to hold your man down. Like, the cool thing is to have a nigga on the side. Like, it's in the songs, it's in the music. Like,
bro, it ain't
side,
that,
you know.
It ain't that it's cool. It's not fun. It's not fun to be a stay-at-home mom, bro. That shit, bro. My wife told me that I made her feel like a slave for taking care of her and making her want to stay home.
Well, if you was an actual slave, you'd still be my wife. So what would I make you feel then? Like, let's say y'all was slaves and born back then. What would the shit that you asked her to do that the master don't?
Shit, I don't know.
Get
I
it?
guess you're right. But if I so explain that to me, because I think I'm misunderstanding. So you saying that I did treat her like a slave?
No, I'm
Or I
saying
didn't,
if
because I
what
was married,
you
right?
if what you doing now is considered slavery like, then if y'all were actual slaves born in like the 1600s, and she's actually being treated like a slave by these white owners, then what of the stuff that you ask her to do? Because the rules don't change
They
of
changed.
marriage
Okay.
400 years ago. So you'd still be considered the stay-at-home mom who needs to cook and clean while I go out and provide on the fields, right? Keep us from getting killed by master, right? And you gonna cook and clean, I guess, for him too, if that's the role in the house. You know, like those internal motherly roles still supposed to, you know.
What you got, Dave?
No, miss.
Oh, Dave's like, I ain't gonna. Hey, don't put my name in it. It's recorded.
Nah, 'cause I just don't. Like, y'all have different experiences.
Okay, so
Nigga like,
that's
hey, that's never happened in my
perfect.
household.
Yeah, and
That's
I feel
what
like
happened in my household.
that's good because you have a completely different perspective on
Yeah.
having a black woman as a wife. Why do you feel like what we saying is not accurate?
No, it's accurate.
Oh, it's accurate.
He's saying that
Just not for him.
he's don't.
Yeah, I never had that problem yet.
Yeah, God bless you.
Bro, and this is where it comes to, right? So if it's like being a slave, but all you have to do is leave to be free as a woman. It's like, yo, I feel like a slave, but all I have to do is leave. It's like being a slave without the consequences of getting your ass beat. So now it's like, yo, I can go fuck this other nigga. Because, bro, we all know that all that sin shit is fun. That shit fun as fuck. But then when we had these kids, we was like, hey, yo, we trying to get married, trying to grow this legacy. But then you trying to explain,
They still have fun.
you just trying to explain legacy to somebody who out here having fun, and every one of their friends is in a broken relationship. Every one of them. And they out having fun. They in
Posting
the
pictures.
streets.
And so like you being in, bro, I feel like once you're in a successful relationship, it's like, now what? Where's the excitement come from? The excitement comes from maybe potentially this not working and me having to hit the road again, like, you know, shit like that. So it's like you like, bro,
Not even
you like
fear.
the chase.
It's what,
You
it's
like,
what they call it? Anxiety.
That dopamine, bro. That dopamine, bro. Like, bro, I had the most loyal chicks, bro, when I was doing them dirty. Bro, I told Dave, bro, yo, this is what I used to tell, cause, bro, you talked to Tristan and he was like, yo, bro, he spent money on girls. I never spent money on girls. They always spend it on me, cause I used to tell him shit like, yo, I want you to love me more than you love yourself, or this shit ain't gonna work. And then she's never gonna be able to do that. So now she constantly chasing me, and I'm, bro.
But
That's
you gonna
like,
try.
that's like me throwing a brick at somebody, hit them in the face, and just walk away. Cause now that shit don't affect me no more. Now you finding whoever hit you with a brick. So now she constantly chasing and shit like that, bruh.
Oh, trying to please you and do everything.
Yup, but I ain't. I'm in these streets, baby.
Okay, but
then, you know,
did it work?
Did it
you
work?
get what you wanted out of it?
Yeah, I got what I want because, but I guess just picture it like this, right? Me and you in business. I'm just doing shit without consequence and then leaving you to hold the bag for the money and everything else, and I'm just, hey, bruh, I quit.
It would fuck me up.
It'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
It wouldn't fuck me up. Bruh, the money ain't in my account. These people, there ain't no documents in my name. This is your show. I'm Dip. And guess what? I'm out here still doing my thing. So
That's what it is, bro.
that's pretty much what it is. And then you got a motherfucker chasing you, bro. And that shit, like, it's like slavery, bro. Like, I kind of feel bad for some of the shit I did.
But I mean, in that same regard, bro, you could look at anything we deal with today and say it's a form of slavery. Like you're gonna choose to submit to something, right?
School slavery.
The union of a marriage, like you submitting to the union of partnership, like you submitting, like, yo, I'm no longer one whole person as Mike. Like I gotta split these decisions I make. You don't look at it like
but
that?
it's not slavery because it's voluntary. The marriage ain't.
Yeah, but I would call it still a form of submission.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess you can say that, but it's for the greater good. It's for our abilities to become God, right? So if we are God, right? So I learned this shit, and it was like, yo, the ability of God is to protect, provide, and all that stuff, right? The only other person we got to see that from is our Father. So our Father's God to us when we're kids. But now it's like we get to be something better, which is God to our kids. Bro, think about when your son see you. Bro, ain't no better feeling. So that's what you submitting to.
Bro, and it's like, I remember being told that my son don't want to see me. And it offended me. And then I remember, like, I know that's full of shit, because when I see him, I know how he get, you know?
Yeah. Go ahead, dude. Go ahead. I know you about to. Come on, bro. You gotta come on with it, dog.
Oh man, I be watching that. I told my wife not to do that. Like put me on child support. You ever do that? I'm gonna talk to you.
Okay, but, bro,
I know what it is.
protections does she have in place? Like, because really, I told my wife the same thing. I'm like, don't put me on child support. Look at me.
Yeah, but because it's like you said, your friends. When you talking to the
People around you.
other woman, that's what it is. Cause
So you feel like she had a good circle, a good group of women around her.
Mm-hmm. Cause what's her friend was the person we got the house for, and the other friend is
Grounded people.
Yeah, they got houses, so
They got husbands. They got
Mm-hmm.
other things like her that potentially, you know, you might risk losing. You might want to talk to somebody before you do it.
yeah. So I think the group of people, because when I was talking to Mike, he was like, yo, my wife still want to do the same dumb shit. He understand like, yo, you need to cut them off because they telling you the wrong thing. They gonna give you the wrong advice, and you gonna lose it all. And I ain't gonna come back. So,
Bro, that's like taking multi-million level advice from a bum.
facts.
And
What a relationship.
But you know what I said too, bro? I said, because I used to tell her, I was like, yo, these girls are beneath you. And then I feel like, man, some of these women, yo, they don't understand what it means.
Nah, they understand. I feel like a lot of women want to be the head honcho in their friend group. They want to be the baddest bitch in their group. And it's like,
That's
you know, it's like being the smartest dude in the room. It's like having the most to say. Like,
Yeah.
you probably want to be the dude that's quiet, taking notes. Because if you feel like you learn everything and you're just imparting all day, like, you know, people ain't really.
And then they use the system, bro. Heavily, bro. Heavily. To
Bro,
get their way.
'cause
And
it's easy.
they use the system and the kid to taunt you.
Bro, but
'Cause
like she said, the last thing she said was, with no repercussion. Like, bro, how many times you known, like, this little girl not spending that child support how she's supposed to? No repercussion. And it's like, it's a low-key our fault too, because don't you get called a bitch-ass nigga if you'd have tried to get your BM locked up because she's misappropriating funds? Like, you're supposed to just take it on the chin, like, oh, you treat women like children. When
Nah.
they say women and children first, I'm like, yo, bro, I don't even consider, like, I was rude at a certain point where I'm like, yo, I don't even consider your opinion on things because I look at you like how I look at the child. Like, I'm paying the fucking bills anyway. Like, no matter what I say, you're just gonna complain and follow along anyway. So, like, I just treated them in a regard to where it's like, all right, cool. Women and children, I just kind of bunched together, and I'm like, responsibility allows it to where she can be an adult and go get a job, but when it comes to like real actionable stuff, you can just defer to the husband.
Yep. So it's just like you're saying, bro. Women want the authority of a man to be treated like a woman still, but the accountability of a child. Bro, I'm like, but in the same situations where I'm thinking, I'm like,
It's how they're raised too.
Okay.
it's
Another
definitely-
one.
But before we even get too deep into it, I want to ask, like, how do you feel like you're not coming off as a woman hater? Because I've had this conversation before with
Bruh,
my
'cause-
shorty, like,
Cause bro,
Because every difference of cultures.
bro, everybody wants to know the truth, but they don't want it to hurt.
Yeah.
Bro, somebody be like, like I said in the car, bro, my dad was like, yo, be a man, get a job, bro. I was like, man, fuck that. But it was what I was supposed to do, but I fought it because I had options. And then when I brought another life in this world, I'm like, yo, my
I didn't
options.
even get no food, dude.
No, I didn't get no food. I don't eat until like 12. But yeah, I had when I had to provide for another fucking person, I was like, yo, I'm gonna sell drugs and get a job.
Okay, and I feel like that's really when it switches in a lot of men's mind. It goes from, all right, cool, my dumbass decisions affect me and my box that I live in.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, all right, cool, now the decisions I make are affecting other people. That's when shit gets a little funny.
But what's crazy is we all have fathers in the household, so when shit got tough, we already knew, like, hey, we got something.
We already knew who to defer to.
Yeah, and then like who to look at the model, bro. Cause I never really understood, like, bro, all my friends and stuff, bro. Like I was like, bro, we grew up the same.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, they grew up in my house, and that was my dad.
Damn. So they didn't even have half of what you had.
Yeah, and I was like, well, bro, my dad took us to baseball practice, took us to fishing, everything, bro. My dad used to be more of a dad than these other kids sometimes, but I ain't never took offense to it. Like, right, cool, get them off my back so I can do hood rat shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I never understood it, like the absence of that, bro. Bridget started going to therapy, bro, and
So I have a question for you. If Tristan does Tristan have a dad? So you think if he had a dad, he'd be different?
So I told him, I said, yo, in this 6 months, I'm trying to instill 21 years of experience in you, fatherhood in you, and 6 months. This shit's gonna hurt,
bro.
This shit's gonna hurt, and I'm gonna be blunt. So he had a guy, right? A guy named,
No, I'm talking about his real dad.
oh,
yeah.
bro, it was his mom was pregnant as a teen, bro. It is what it
And
was.
so, essentially, it's his fault.
Who? Tristan?
The
Oh,
dad. Anything that you look at Tristan right now and you be like, you fucking up, look at his daddy. You ain't teaching this. Now I'm teaching your son this.
But he had guys in his life trying to teach him. He didn't listen. It wasn't his dad's fault. It was his mom.
Nigga, did you listen to your dad? You gonna listen to a stranger?
But listen, okay, I didn't listen to my dad, but I watched. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, motherfuckers just say something all day, bro. But if he ain't about that life, he ain't about that life.
Yeah. So, who was about that life? That's what I'm saying. The people probably trying to impart shit on him wasn't about that life.
It was, but think about it like this. The same time I'm trying to instill 21 years of all this shit in his life, his mom is trying to be mom and dad at the same time.
About undoing the work, bro. I feel like a lot of people, if y'all not on the same page as parents, and I'm gonna say women always undo the work, but bro, a lot of shit get undone.
But nah,
A lot of lessons about kids.
Bro, listen to what I'm about to say. She raising him to be a woman.
I was about to say that.
Oh, okay. She raising him to be a woman. He trying to get the accountability of a kid as a man, a black one.
21 at that.
21
Dreadhead at that.
at that. Bruh. Bruh, when we got on the phone, you heard him? Bruh, you know what the problem is? My mom took care of me.
Nigga, what?
I was a Westbrook face.
But essentially, that is the problem, right? Because if she didn't take care of him and she let him starve at 16, he probably would have got a job then.
It would be hard to say, but I mean, how can you let your own flesh and blood starve?
Okay, How many? I'm not saying starve like how you think. I'm saying starve
You like
you of the bullshit. Starve you of cable. Starve you of Wi-Fi. Starve you of a fucking phone. Starve you of, snacks. Like, nigga, it's bread and water until you get your shit together. Like, you
But-
can sustain yourself without spending all that fucking money.
yeah, but you talking to me as a man.
That's what I'm saying. So his mom, she couldn't impart none of those lessons.
Think about it like this. When your kid was crying in the middle of the night, you were dead tired. Who got up?
She got up. Well, I got up before too.
You got up before. Who get up most of the time?
She get up most of the
So
time.
when he know that she's gonna move when he cry, guess what he does?
Cry.
At 20 years old,
Cry.
guess what she do?
She moved.
That's crazy.
Easy,
That's crazy.
easy. She moving, and that's her normal nature. So when she get up and move, she switched to dad to provide. That shit ain't natural. So now he like, all right, I'm gonna just keep crying. Mom and dad gonna take care of me in one walk. Yeah, man. Hey, that should be the clip that you. That's the clip right there.
That's fire.